Amén. Tadaraba, for your strength. Muchísimas gracias por las fuerzas que nos das todos los días. Todos los días le pido al Padre fuerzas de búfalo. Y de verdad que me las da. Me dice Noah, ¿cómo es que te levantas primero y eres la última en acostarte? Y tienes fuerza. Tengo fuerzas de búfalo. Porque Él dijo que le iba a dar a Israel fuerzas de búfalo. Amén. Aleluya. Alaban a Yahweh y cantan salmos a su nombre altísimo.
Usando su fidelidad por la mañana y las noches.
La 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 la
tus obras cantaré, gozo por tu creación, cuán grandes son tus obras, Elohim Baruch Yahweh. La 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 en la casa de Yahweh y ahí siempre viviré. La 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 la. It is good to praise Yahweh and make music to your name, Yahweh Most High. Proclaim your love and faithfulness all the day and through the night. La 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 Lebanon,
lo hemos encontrado. Aquel del cual Moshe habló, le dijo uno de los discípulos. Hemos encontrado aquel del cual habló Moshe. Aleluya. Yeshua HaMashiach. Bendito es Yahweh nuestro Elohim, el único verdadero Elohim. Toda Rabá, toda Lael. Bendito es tu nombre para siempre. Bendice a tu pueblo, Padre. Bendice al pueblo de Israel, esparcido. Tráelo a tu redil.
Su sangre
sangre borró todos mis pecados.
Sangre me limpia,
Su sangre da vida, su sangre borró absolutamente todos mis pecados. Toda rabá, Yahweh. Sin Él, ¿qué sería de nosotros? ¿En dónde estaríamos hoy si no fuera por Él? Bendito sea. Bendito sea. Toda rabá. Toda la Él. Amén. Ebenu Shalom Alechem. La paz esté con vosotros.
Amén, así sea.
Amén. Y con vosotros siempre esté la paz.
Amén, amén.
Amén. No deje que nada ni nadie se la robe. Viene el ladrón, el que viene a hurtar, a matar y a destruir, a robarnos la paz. No hay que dejarnos.
Amén, no.
Hashem quiere decir tú el nombre su estima es. Baruch Hashem quiere decir bendito el nombre de Ismael. Día a día adorar, he de clamar Baruch Hashem. En montes de Jerusalén lloraré Baruch Hashem. Y como el agua en Jericó, diré a Yahweh Baruch Hashem. Y adorar a Él toda y agradecer y adorar Baruch Atah, Baruch Atah, Yahweh. Fieles palabras nos dejó y en su alabanza nos mostró en Israel. Y adorar a Él toda te agradecer el Shaddai. Y adorar Baruch Atah, Baruch Atah, Yahweh. Baruch Hashem quiere decir bendito el nombre Ismael. Y día a día adorar, Elohim, Abba, Shabainu. Amén. Bendito
Amen,
sea.
amen. We are going to blow the shofar to close the ark.
Vamos a tocar el shofar, a sonar el shofar para cerrar el arca.
Shofar players ready.
Los que tocan el shofar, listos, por favor.
Tequila. Shabarín. Teruá. Tequila Gadol.
Bendito seas, Abacadosh. Te alabamos. Aquí estamos un grupito
Amén,
pequeño de
amén,
tus
amén,
ovejitas en Victorville.
Amén, amén.
Alégrense. Estamos de fiesta.
Amén, amén.
¿Es Shabbat? ¿Es Shabbat? Día de reposo, de alegría.
You can take your seat. Yes, today is a festivity. Shabbat is the
Sí.
first festivity, the first Moadim established by our Father Yahweh.
Sí, hoy es una fiesta. Es la primera cita o Moadim establecida por nuestro Padre Yahweh, el Shabbat.
Amen, amen. Now
Amén.
we are upon the festivities already.
Ya
High
estamos sobre
festivities.
las fiestas altas.
So tomorrow, Sunday,
Mañana,
September 9,
domingo, septiembre 9,
at
Yom
sundown
Rishon.
starts Yom Teruah.
a la caída del sol comienza Yom Teruah.
The festivity of trumpets,
Es la fiesta de las trompetas.
and ends on Monday, September 10 at sundown.
Y termina septiembre 10 cuando cae el sol.
So we are going to open Yom Teruah tomorrow
Así que vamos a abrir la fiesta de Yom Teruah mañana
at 6 o'clock with a Shabbat service.
a las 6 de la tarde con un servicio de Shabbatón.
Is Shabbat, Shabbaton.
Es un Shabbatón.
And then we are going to close it on Sunday
Y luego lo vamos a terminar en Yom Rishon, domingo.
No, we are going to open tomorrow, Sunday,
Oh, perdón. Abrimos mañana, domingo, Yom Rishon,
with a Shabbat service at
con el servicio de Shabbat
six
a las
in the afternoon.
6 de la tarde.
And we are expecting to have a potluck at about 8 o'clock.
Y más o menos como a las 8 de la noche esperamos tener un potluck, una comida de traje. Yo traje esto, tú trajiste el otro.
Yeah, bring a dish.
Traiga un platillo para compartir, por favor.
Amen. Now on Monday, we are going to close Yom Teruah with a Shabbat service.
El lunes vamos a cerrar la fiesta de Yom Teruah con un servicio a las 12,
At 11 in the morning.
perdón, a las 11 del mediodía.
And we are going to have lunch, potluck about 12:30 to 1.
Y vamos a tener otro potluck, un almuerzo, un oneg a las más o menos como entre 12:30 a 1.
So bring another dish.
Así que tiene que traer otro platillo.
Amen, amen.
O haga
Now-
bastante de uno y trae la mitad y la mitad.
So now tomorrow we start the 10 days before Yom Kippur.
Mañana comenzamos a contar 10 días para el conteo regresivo a Yom Kippur.
So Yom Kippur starts on Tuesday at sundown.
Yom Kippur comienza el martes a la caída del sol,
Tuesday, September 18.
septiembre 18.
And then we will let you know how we are going to celebrate Yom Kippur.
Y después le vamos a decir cómo vamos a celebrar el día de Yom Kippur.
Again, it starts on Tuesday at sundown and ends on Wednesday, September 19 at sundown.
Así, otra vez, septiembre 18 a la caída del sol y cerramos septiembre 19 a la caída del sol.
And then we are going to have Sukkot.
Y después vamos a tener Sukkot.
Sukkot starts on Sunday, September 23rd at sundown.
Y Sukkot comienza la fiesta de las cabañas, algunos le llaman tabernáculos, pero viene de la palabra taberna, que es donde se emborrachaban, no es muy acertado. Así que la palabra es Sukkot o cabañas, ¿verdad? Y es el día 23, dijiste, de septiembre,
Sunday, September 23rd.
domingo a la caída del sol, 23 de septiembre.
And the seventh day is going to be on Shabbat,
Y
Saturday, September 29.
y termina el 29 de septiembre a la caída del sol.
Well, that's the seventh day of Sukkot,
Esos son los 7 días de Sukkot.
but then the eighth day of Sukkot,
Pero-
eighth day of convocation of Sukkot, we call it Shemini Atzeret.
El octavo día es también una convocación sagrada, es Shemini Azrei.
Traducción, please. Shemini Atzeret.
Shemini viene de la palabra 8, octavo.
The eighth day. Okay. And then Sukkot the eighth day of Sukkot will end on Monday, October 1st at sundown.
Va a terminar ese día en octubre primero, cuando cae el sol.
Okay, if you want to keep Shabbat
Si ustedes quieren guardar el Shabbat,
or Shabbaton, these
el Shabbat
festivities
Shabbatón, estas fiestas,
is Monday, September 10 is Shabbat.
lunes, septiembre 10, que es un Shabbat,
Wednesday, September 19 is Shabbat.
miércoles, septiembre 19, es un Shabbat,
Sunday, the 23rd is first day of Sukkot is Shabbat.
domingo 23 también es un Shabbat,
And then will be the last day will be Monday, October 1st is another Shabbat.
y el último va a ser octubre primero, que también es un
So
Shabbat.
1, 2, 3, 4 Shabbats.
Amén.
3 of them are, one is Monday, one Wednesday, another one is on Monday, and the other one is Sunday. So if you need a copy of these, let us know. Janay can make copies for you.
Si quiere usted una copia de el calendario, por favor díganos para que Yanaí le haga una copia. O le puede tomar una foto, ahora todo es
you can take picture. Now everything
todo
is
es en-
online. Okay, yeah, you want a picture? Anybody wants a picture? Take a picture right there. Okay, now we are going to study the parasha.
Ahora vamos a estudiar la parashá, la porción.
Today is the parasha 51,
Hoy es la parashá 51,
Nitzavim,
Nitzavim,
that means standing.
parados, quiere decir parados.
No wonder that we are going to be standing in front of our King in these festivities.
No cabe duda que vamos a estar parados delante de nuestro rey en estas fiestas.
And it's in the book of Devarim or Deuteronomy
Y es en el libro de Devarim o Deuteronomio
29:9 to 30:20.
29:9 hasta el 30:20.
20. Okay, so let's go. Let's study the parasha.
Diles para los que nos están viendo por internet.
Okay, if you are watching through the internet, please give us 10 minutes. We will be back with the study in English. And if you want to follow the study in Spanish, please go to Facebook and look for the Ark of the Faithful Remnant, so you can watch the study in Spanish in about 10 minutes.
Para los que nos están viendo por internet, por favor, denos 10 minutos para poder comenzar el de inglés por este mismo canal. Y para los que lo quieran ver en español, por favor, búsquenos en Facebook, Ark of the Faithful Remnant. Y ahí nos va a poder ver el estudio en español. Bueno, pasamos. Los de inglés se quedan aquí. English stays here. Spanish inside.
just the base. Remember the bottom one? The bottom of the 4 green is the base. Yeah, the other ones you don't want to move. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Testing, testing. Shabbat shalom. That sounds good. Not too bassy. And you could, if you could turn it up a little bit. Turn me up. Yeah, turn the volume up. More. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. A little bit more. Shabbat shalom. Like that. That should be good. Okay, and then microphone 2. Okay, we're going to bring this down a lot. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom today. Okay, right there. Hang on to that one. When mommy's ready to comment, you can hand it to her. All right. Okay, we're back. Thank you. Shabbat shalom, everybody. And we're going to start with the blessing for the reading. Okay, we can all stand together and say the blessing together. All right. Baruch Yahweh Hamboram, Baruch Yahweh Hamboram lo ambaed, Baruch ata Yahweh Eloheinu melech haolam, asher barakavanu milko hamin, venatalanu et torato, Baruch ata Yahweh noten ha-Torah. Amen. Thank you. And do we have someone that can translate in English what that said, or what we said?
Which one?
The top one.
Oh, bless Hashem, the
Bring
blessed one.
Bring the microphone up.
Bless Hashem, the blessed one. Blessed is Hashem, the blessed one, for all eternity. Blessed are you, Hashem, our Elohim, King of the universe, who selected us from all the peoples and gave us His Torah. Blessed are you, Hashem, giver of the Torah.
Amen. All right. And today, our first, the parasha is Parasha 51, Nitzavim, meaning standing. And that is found in Devarim. That's chapter 29, verse 9, through chapter 30, verse 20. So once again, that's Devarim, or Deuteronomy, chapter 29, verse 9, to chapter 30, verse 20. And it's called Nitzavim, I think. It's pronounced. So that's and it means standing. So we'll go ahead and go to there, and Reina's going to start reading.
Therefore you shall guard the words of this covenant and do them, so that you prosper in all that you do. All of you are standing today before Yahweh your Elohim, your leaders, your tribes, your elders, and your officers, all the men of Israel, your little ones, your wives, and your sojourner who is in the midst of your camp, from the one who cuts your wood to the one who draws your water, so that you should enter into covenant with Yahweh your Elohim and into his oath, which Yahweh your Elohim makes with you today, in order to establish you today as people for himself, and he himself be your Elohim, as he has spoken to you, and as he has sworn to your fathers, to Abraham, to Yitzhak, and to Jacob. 14. And not with you alone I am making this covenant and this oath, but with him who stands here with us today before Yahweh our Elohim, as well as with him who is not here with us today. For you know how we dwelt in the land of Mitzrayim, and how we passed through the nations which you passed through. And you saw their abominations and their idols, wood and stone, silver and gold, which were with them. Lest there should be among you a man or a woman or clan or tribe, whose heart turns away today from Yahweh our Elohim to go and serve the mighty ones of these nations, lest there should be among you a root bearing bitterness or wormwood. And it shall be, when he hears the words of this curse, that he should bless himself in his heart, saying, I have peace though I walk in the stubbornness of my heart, in order to add drunkenness to thirst. Yahweh would not forgive him, but rather the displeasure of Yahweh and his jealousy shall burn against that man, and every curse that is written in this book shall settle on him. Oof. And Yahweh shall blot out his name from under the heavens. And Yahweh shall separate him for evil out of all the tribes of Israel, according to all the curses of the covenant that are written in this book of the Torah. And the generation to come of your children who rise up after you, and the foreigner who comes from a far land, shall say when they see the plagues of that land, and the plagues of that land, and the sickness which Yahweh has sent into it, all its land is sulfur, salt, and burning. It is not sown, nor does it bear, nor does any grass grow there, like the overthrow of Sodom and Amorah, Adam and Seboim, which Yahweh overthrew in his displeasure and his wrath. And all the nations shall say, Why has Yahweh done so to this land? What does the heat of this great displeasure mean? And it shall be said, Because they have forsaken the covenant of Yahweh Elohim of their fathers, which he made with them when he brought them out of the land of Mitzrayim. And they went and served other mighty ones, and bowed themselves to them, mighty ones that they did not know, and that he had not given to them. Therefore the displeasure of Yahweh burned against this land, to bring on it every curse that is written in this book. And Yahweh uprooted them from their land in displeasure and in wrath, and in great rage, and cast them into another land as it is today. The secret matters belong to Yahweh our Elohim, but what is revealed belongs to us and to our children forever, to do all the words of this Torah.
Thank you, Dana. That's an awesome reading. So we'll go ahead and open up for comments or questions on this reading. Are there any comments or questions? No? Okay. So real quick, I want to ask a question to our young people. Make sure they're paying attention. So what does it say that you are to make sure you do, and what does it say will happen if you don't do that thing you're supposed to? Okay, so it speaks about let me see. It's verse 18 of chapter 29. It says, At least there should be among you a man or a woman, or clan or tribe, whose heart turns away from Yahweh our Elohim, to go and serve the mighty ones of these nations, lest there should be any among you root bearing bitterness or wormwood. Meaning someone that is going to introduce evil or wickedness to your brothers and sisters. That's what it's saying. I was asking that what did Yahweh say? Be sure that you don't do, and what did He say will happen to that person that does that you're not supposed to? So it's verse 18. It says, "Least there should be among you a man or a woman, or a clan or tribe whose heart turns away from Yahweh, whose heart turns away from Yahweh our Elohim, to go and serve mighty ones of these nations." Least there should be among you a root-bearing bitterness or wormwood. And it says, It shall be, when he hears the words of this curse, that he should bless himself in his heart, saying, I have peace, though I walk in stubbornness of my heart, in order to add drunkenness to thirst. So that right there is a very important saying. When you hear the curses of this book, you don't want those curses to fall upon you. And so it says you should say, I have peace in my heart, though I walk in stubbornness of my heart. We all have stubbornness in the heart because the flesh is always going to be the flesh is going to be stubborn, but it's what do they call it? It's like an enemy. There's enmity between the flesh and the ruach. The ruach being the guidance of the Holy Spirit, or the Ruach HaKodesh, right? Set apart Spirit of Yahweh. So between those two, there's animosity, which means or enmity, which means that you're always going to be battling. The flesh wants you to do things that pleasure the flesh. And then the Ruach is going to lead you to walk in the Torah. And is going to lead you in the path of life. But your flesh is going to want you to go off and do the things that you pleasure your flesh. So that is here, and that's exactly what he's saying, is that, though I walk in the stubbornness of my heart, because the heart is, flesh. And then it says, in order to add drunkenness to thirst. So it's like, not only are you already thirsty, but now you add drunkenness to it. It's never good. In other words, make the situation worse than it already is. And it says, Yahweh would not forgive him, but rather the displeasure of Yahweh and his jealousy shall burn against that man. And every curse that is written in this book shall settle on him. And Yahweh shall blot out his name from under the heavens. In other words, you will no longer exist. You cease to exist. That's what he's saying. Sure. And Yahweh shall separate him for evil. That is not good. You don't want to be separated for evil out of the tribes of Israel, according to all the curses of the covenant that are written in the book of the Torah, and the generations to come of your children who rise up after you, and the foreigner who comes from a far land shall say, when they see the plagues of this land and the sicknesses which Yahweh has sent into it. And it goes on to speak about the way that he punished Sodom and Gomorrah. Sodom and Amorah, Adama and Sisbeim. What did he do? What did Yahweh do to Sodom and Amorrah? He destroyed it with fire. So, you guys remember when the three men appeared to Abraham and his wife? Remember, the three men appeared, and he fed them, and they ate, and he told them that his wife would have a son a year from now, and then she laughed when she was in the tent, and then those men went, and Yahweh asked himself, should I not tell Abraham what I'm going to do to Sodom and Amorrah, because of their great outcry of the sin that has been happening in that place has been brought to Yahweh's attention. And so Yahweh came to see before he destroyed it. So that's how good he is, that he came in person to make sure that the accusations that had came across the place were true before he destroyed it, because it's a lot of people that lost their lives. Of course he knew. But remember, he came and Abraham stood, he interceded for those people. And though they were wicked people, he said, would you destroy the righteous with the unrighteous together and treat the righteous as the unrighteous? Remember? And then he started with, I think, 50, and he got down to 5, and there wasn't found 5 righteous people. So yeah, exactly. So what were they doing that was so bad in Sodom and Amorrah, brother? So they were involved in all kinds of sexual immorality. So they were gays. They were transvestites, transsexuals, transgender people. There was bestiality. There were just bestiality, when having relations with an animal. All kinds of sexual immorality. Like, the whole place was corrupted. The whole place. There wasn't anybody that wasn't right. Lot was the only one. No, he lived in the city. Lot went to live there because, remember the story? When him and Abraham, they split places. He said, this place is, we're too great for one area. Let me go my way. You go your way. And though Abraham didn't want him to go, he went. And then, Yahweh spared him and his 2 daughters. But then, and his wife, she looked back, right? So Yahweh told her to not look back, which is symbolic. It's spiritually saying, do not return from what I've taken you from, right? So that's like what he's saying here. He's like, at least there be a man of you that turn away from Yahweh, right? So turn away, going back to the things that he's taken us from or protected us from. Yeah, so there probably was because when you have that kind of stuff going on, then people usually you end up having jealousy and all kinds of things. So yeah, basically remember when the time of Sodom and Gomorrah, that it was like in the time of Noah, right? In the time of Noah, they were having the same kind of things going on, and they were eating people. They were doing cannibalism. So who knows? Maybe they were doing that too. But I know what was mentioned specifically was a sexual immorality. But it says that, again, those times will come again, and we're seeing that again now, more than any other time. They even have like gay commercials now. Well, it's been for a long time. In the cartoons, they've been kind of pushing it, where they make the boys in the cartoons wear pink, and the girls in cartoons wear blue, and they do neutral colors that anybody could wear. They kind of like they're just mixing it. It's very subliminal, but your mind picks it up. You might not think of it, but your mind is picking up everything. Like listening, what you're hearing, everything. Your mind, if there's subliminal messages being brought to you in the music you listen to, then whether you like it or not, you're introducing those thoughts and those things into your mind, and little by little, what's happening is that the goal of the enemy is to brainwash you, or to basically hypnotize you, put you in a state of like delusion, basically, where you're presented the information, and no matter how much like factual information I present to you and showing you that this is true, you still choose to believe a lie. You see what I'm saying? That's the definition of delusion. To be delusional is to have, and it says that in the end times that people will become delusional, that a strong delusion will come upon them. They won't be able to tell right from wrong anymore. They'll be just just like and you see that today. You see that very, very, very strongly right now. People just have the morals are just. But anyway, okay, I'm staying too much on this one topic. Let's speak to hear what Maria had to say. She was going to speak on verse 18.
Yep. So I'll read the verse first. It says, I have it in the King James. Lest there should be among you man or woman or family or tribe whose heart turneth away this day from the Lord our God to go and serve the gods of these nations, lest there should be among you a root that beareth gall and wormwood. So I was looking at that word gall in ancient Hebrew, and then when you scroll down, the word is, it also means venom. So it says the poison of serpents that comes sacs located in the head. Also by extension, any type of poison. So to me, this tells me that, because it was saying above about serving other gods. So when you do that, when you serve other gods, it's kind of like the story of Adam and Eve when the serpent came to to Eve, and he placed that seed of doubt in her. So it's the same kind of concept, because symbolically that is a type of venom, because it's not truth, it's twisting it. So if we come in contact with, well, not contact, but if we come in covenant with somebody like that, and we know better, and they're serving other gods, then you are subject to that, because they can come in and bring in that twisted seed into your mindset, because here the way it's spelled in the ancient Hebrew, it's Resh, Vav, Aleph, Shin. So the Resh is symbolic of the mindset, and the Vav is supposed to be a connector from heaven to earth. So in this case, it's a mindset that is grounded. It's earthly, it's fleshly. So we want to make sure that we remain steadfast unto the Father, and not come into covenant with those that serve other gods. So even though we're in the world, we're not of the world. So we're supposed to minister to those people and bring in truth, so they can have a breakthrough in their lives.
All right, thank you. Amen, amen. So also, when you mentioned the snake has a split tongue, meaning that, you know, it never speaks truth because its tongue is split, you know. So the representative, Yahweh always shows us everything in the physical to represent the spiritual. So these things, they have a meaning behind it, you know. Everything has a meaning there if you're willing to accept it, you know. That's the problem. Maybe people they don't want to think for themselves, or think hard enough, or say, oh yeah, that, you know, maybe that's not coincidence. All right. Anybody else? Okay. We have a microphone?
Hello. Okay, so what are we supposed to do? Like, because how everyone's so accepting to, like, just everything. Everyone's, like, so accepting, and they make it seem like it's wrong if you're judgmental or feel different than how everyone else feels. Obviously, you don't have to feel how everyone else feels, but what are you supposed to do in the world, like, when you're not supposed to be judgmental towards, like, those kind of people, but at the same time, like, you're not supposed to be accepting, yeah. Like, what would be the right way to act?
So I think first we got to understand that, you know, we're talking about, when we're talking about these things, that these things are meant, you know, we're not supposed to do these things. That's meant for the people of Israel, right? And so you're going to have, right now, we're not in Israel. We're not in the land, and we're not living under Torah in one community as one nation under Torah, the way we should be, right? We live in the United States, and we are unfortunately, we're like in exile right now. We've been kicked out of the land, of the promised land. We do not have the land that we're supposed to have. We don't have the Torah the way we're supposed to. We don't have the Mishkan, the temple, like we're supposed to. We don't have we're not giving the sacrifices of all the sacrifices of peace, of joy, of thanksgiving, of sin, of everything, of all of them. We're not doing any of that. And so we're in exile right now. We're in another land. We're in a stranger's land. That's what the word said would happen to us. We would be scattered all over. And so now we have to live amongst these people, pray to Yahweh, protect ourselves from them, you know. And it says that in the end times, they will call what is good bad and what is bad good. And so they're telling you, because you are bringing the truth. When somebody is doing something wrong, they don't want to be, like, you know, they don't want to be exposed. They don't want to be told what you're doing is wrong, you know. And so that's how people react, by getting judged. Oh, I'm gonna call you judgmental or whatever, you know, putting titles on people. You're acting a certain way, or you're being a certain way. You're wrong for being like that. You should accept me how I am. Well, I mean, I don't have to accept you the way you are. You know, I can choose not to be around you, you know, and not go places where, you know, those people are. But if you have to interact with these people, you have to interact with them, and you just have to, you know, protect yourself. You don't go beyond that. Well, I would say, you know, it's all on you, but you know, you try not to be in contact with those people, you know, and I mean, that's your opinion. Everybody wants everybody to have the same opinion now. You know, no one can have a different opinion than the acceptance. You know, everybody's just accept everybody and let everyone do whatever and be nice to everybody. You know, like I said, in Israel, you know, it would be completely different. If we were in a nation, you know, and this was happening, then we would have to do something about it. You know, the men and the women of the nation would have to come together, and they would exterminate those people. They would take them out and kick them out of the land. You know, run them out. You know, they would probably come against them with sword, and if they ran, then they would flee, and they would not be allowed back into Israel. You know, that's what the Torah says to do. You know, we're not supposed to entertain those things. So he says, "You shall purge the evil out from the midst of Israel." So that is you know, this is a different situation that you're in right now, right? Because we're not living under this, you know, because we can't. And well, people, you know, it's the same thing. You know, now it's a gun, but basically, you know, it's the same thing as a sword. But you know, the thing is that what I'm saying is, you know, you can't. Yeah, we're not judging people like by saying, "Oh, this is going to happen to you because of what you're doing," you know. But if somebody you know is talking to you about it and they ask you, then you have a right to tell them what the truth is. You tell them, "Hey, this is what I believe because of whatever." You know, you give them the facts behind why you believe what you believe, and if they don't want to accept that, then that's on them. You know, I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't go around, you know, on the street just telling people, "Hey, you're wrong for doing that," because really they're the world. I shouldn't expect anything different from them, you know. And if those people want to change, you know, and they get to a point in their life where they do want to change, you know, and then at that point they might come back to somebody that they know. "Oh, you know, I remember this person, you know, told me this, you know, or whatever." And the thing is that we're supposed to lead by example. As we're around these people, we're different, and then they wonder why, you know. And so yeah, we don't entertain their actions. We don't, you know, accept their actions and all that, and they want to be mad at us for that, and they can be mad at us for it. You know, I'm not gonna go against my beliefs just not to hurt your feelings. You know, unfortunately, you know, your feelings are not protected. You know, people get their feelings hurt all the time. So, and if it's over sin, then I don't feel bad about it. That's just, you know, it is what it is. You know, I think a lot of people are being conditioned to be very soft, you know, and very, love them. You know, yeah, when you come to Yahweh, well, love you, you know. But if you're doing whatever you're doing, you know, is it love my neighbor? That's love your brother, your people that are following Torah. You know, those people, yeah, you're not supposed to turn away. They come to you, they need from you, you help them. You know, but the world comes after. They come secondary because Yeshua said, you know, you are of the world, you're children of the enemy. You know, because they have not chosen to be children of Yahweh. You know what I mean? So it's a choice in the person, and everyone is given a chance. We don't know exactly what that person went through, so you don't like come down on them, but you know, you know, but again, you're not there to set them straight. You know, where a lot of people do try to do that. They try to go and they beat them with this. You know, they beat them. Oh yeah, this says this, and you because of this, and you're gonna burn in hell, and all. You know, I mean, that's like, you don't do that. That doesn't help anybody. It doesn't help you, and it doesn't help them. You know, but if it comes up and they ask, you know what I mean, that's a different conversation. That's like, okay, well, this is the reasons why we live the way we live, or we believe what we believe, and this is the evidence behind it. And if they choose to accept it, they do. All right. Anybody have any comments or questions on that? Okay, then we'll move on. We'll go and read 30. I'll read 30. And it shall be, when all these words come upon you, the blessing and the curse which I have set before you, and you shall bring them back to your heart among all the nations where Yahweh your Elohim drives you, and shall turn back to Yahweh your Elohim and obey his voice according to all that I command you today, with all your heart and with all your being, you and your children, then Yahweh your Elohim shall turn back your captivity and shall have compassion on you. And he shall turn back and gather you from the peoples where your Elohim has scattered you. See, we're scattered right now. If any of you are driven out to the farthest parts under the heavens, from there Yahweh Elohim does gather you, and from there he does take you. And Yahweh your Elohim shall bring you to the land which your fathers possessed, and you shall possess it. And he shall do good to you, and increase you more than your fathers. And Yahweh your Elohim shall circumcise your heart, and the heart of your seed. And Yahweh your Elohim with all your heart and with all your being. To love Yahweh your Elohim with all your heart and with all your being, so that you might live. We'll come back to that part. And Yahweh your Elohim shall put these curses on your enemies and on those who hate you and persecute you. That right there. So they're going to hate you because you tell them the truth. You know what I mean? I don't say go out there and just yell it in the streets, like some people say to do. If it was Israel, yeah. You do yell it in the streets because everyone's supposed to be on the same page, right? But you're among Gentiles. You're among the world. You're among people that... Well, I mean Israel as a nation. And when you're in Israel, in the promised land. So it has to be both. Israel as a nation, you're in Israel, actual physical Israel, and you're in Israel as far as the nation, tribe, and under Torah. So that like it will be again. So in that case, yes, then you would shout it from the streets. Like the prophet that stood up against Israel, Jeremiah, remember? Yahweh told him, do not be afraid of their faces. Why? Because he had to stand up to them and tell them, you're in the wrong right now. We, Israel, are not supposed to be doing these things. And so that's when the time is. Yeah, you stand firm and bold in the streets at that point. Yeah, but not now, not while you're scattered amongst nations, because all that's they're gonna hate you already because you're not doing. We're not working on Shabbat, so people are gonna hate you at work. Why does he get to be off of work, or why does she get to be off of work? I gotta come in on Saturday. You know what I mean? And that's real. That's going to happen. The people get like that. Everyone wants everybody to be, equally unblessed. Equally in a bad position. And so the moment that you stand up and you're different than everyone. Oh, wait, why are you different? Why are they treating me different? Why are you so special? So. That's I think that's speaking exactly what you were talking about. And so where was I? So that you might live. Okay, right here on 7. And Yahweh your Elohim shall put all these curses on your enemies and on those who hate you, who persecute you, and you shall turn back and obey the voice of Yahweh and do all his commands which I command you today. And Yahweh your Elohim shall make you have excess in all the work of your hands, and in the fruit of your body, and in the fruit of your livestock, and in the fruit of your ground for good. For Yahweh turns back to rejoice over you for good. He rejoiced over your fathers, as he rejoiced over your fathers, if you obey the voice of Yahweh your Elohim to guard his commands and his laws, which are written in this book of the Torah, if you turn back to Yahweh your Elohim with all your heart, make teshuvah. That's what that word. That's what turn back. They are repentance. The real word is teshuvah in Hebrew, and it means to return to Torah with all your heart. So it says, if you turn back to Yahweh your Elohim with all your heart and with all your being, for this command which I am commanding you today is not too hard for you, nor is it far off. So for those that are thinking in their head, oh, no, this is going to be too hard doing all this, keeping all these feasts and doing everything that he asks, and then it's too over the top and this and that. All those thoughts going through your head, he's letting you know right here that it's not too hard for you and it's not too far off. In other words, if you try, he's going to meet you the rest of the way, and you'll be able to do it. So it says, it is 12, verse 12 of 30. It is not in the heavens to say, who shall ascend into the heavens for us and bring it to us and cause us to hear it so that we do it. In other words, he's saying that these commands, they're not in the heavens. They're here for everyone to know. He's saying nobody has to go ascend to Yahweh and ask him personally, what should we do? The commands are right here for everyone to know. It's not something that you can't access. It doesn't have to be brought to you. It's already there. Nor is it beyond the sea to say, who shall go over the sea for us and bring it to us and cause us to hear it so that we do it. So they're saying, don't make excuses like like we don't know. For the word is very near you, in your mouth and in your heart, to do it. See, I have set before you today life and good, death and evil. And that I am commanding you today to love Yahweh your Elohim. Remember what he said about to love Yahweh is to obey his voice. That's what the definition of ahaba. Ahaba, the definition of ahaba is to follow Yahweh. That's the definition of love. We use love in a different way. We say, I love ice cream. I love this, I love that. We make love very generic, but in Hebrew, ahaba is different. It doesn't mean anything like I ahaba my wife. The ahaba, that type of love, that's a love for Elohim, Yahweh. And that's to follow him and obey all his commands. That's what he said. If you love me, you shall guard my commands. Same thing Yeshua said. He didn't make anything new. He didn't, come up with that on his own. Yahweh's been saying it, from the beginning. And it says, and to guard his commands and his laws and his right rulings, and you shall live and increase, and Yahweh your Elohim shall bless you in the land which you go to possess. So again, we're going from where we are scattered right now, and this we should all rejoice, because Yahweh is promising you that if you just do your part and being, obeying him, which he deserves, then he will bring you back from this, which what you had promised, or what we all had coming to us, was all the curses of this book. But instead, he's going to bring you back, and in the displeasure, that in the same way as wrath and displeasure he kicked you out, with compassion, he's going to take us all back, if you're willing. So this is to be joyful about this chapter 30. If chapter 30 here was missing, this wouldn't be such a happy ending. But your heart turns away, but if your heart turns away, so there's the if. But if your heart turns away and you do not obey, and shall be drawn away, and shall bow down to other mighty ones and serve them, I have declared to you today that you shall certainly perish. So that's it. You had your life, and you lived it how you wanted, and that's it. And you shall not prolong your days in the land which you are possessing over the Jordan to enter and possess. So you're not going to go back to the promised land. You will not return to Israel. And it says, I have called the heavens and the earth as witnesses against you. I have set before you life and death, the blessing and the curse. Therefore you shall choose life, so that you live, both you and your seed, you and your children, right? Because a parent only wants what's good for their children. They don't want their children to fail and die or be cursed, right? So a parent always wants what's best for their child. So Yahweh's telling you, not only you, but your child also, to love Yahweh your Elohim, to obey his voice, and to cling to him, for he is your life and your length of days. So to dwell in the land which Yahweh swore to your fathers, Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, to give them. So, like I said, Yahweh is your life and your length of days. That's why over here in verse let me see. It said, possess it shall be good to you, increase. So with all your heart, so that you might live. On verse 6. Verse 6, and Yahweh shall circumcise your heart and the heart of your seed. Again, that is your child also, to love Yahweh your Elohim with all your heart and with all your being, so that you might live. And we understand what he means by circumcising your heart. Can anybody explain that?
I was actually looking at that word circumcise, and let me get there. Hold on. Give me 1 second. So in the ancient Hebrew, it talks about, it says, for circumcise, it's H4135. So it says, the front of a long series of the same. The past is seen in front in ancient Hebrew thought, because the past can be seen while the future is unseen and therefore behind. Well, the past, prophetically looking at it, I see this as going back to the garden, Adam before the fall. So it's Genesis, it's Bereshit in the beginning. So, and all of this is really talking about the promised land, and it's talking about going back to the garden and just the glorification, and just, where it says here that he's going to circumcise our heart. He's going to purify us and cleanse us. He's going to take the desire, sin out of our heart. It's prophetic of the end times, because he's speaking of a time when we're all going to be gathered again, like it's saying in this chapter, unto him, and he's going to take that desire of sin out of us, because he's just going to manifest himself in us and glorify himself through us, and he's just going to take that desire to sin out of us, so that we can fully love him with all of our heart and with all our soul. So that's the destiny. It's going back to Genesis, Bereshit. It's the descension of sin all the way back to Adam. Just like when they were heading into the promised land, they stepped over the Jordan and they said the waters backed up. So it's symbolic of all sin, atonement for all of that. It's that journey into the promised land and overcoming and helping others cross their Jordan.
Amen. Okay, and thank you very much. So definitely also with the circumcision, also it's a representative of an uncovering. So with the circumcision of the heart, Yahweh uncovers his desires in your heart, instead of, it takes away the fleshly, of your heart, the heart, instead of wanting to cling to the matters of the flesh, the heart will be more open to hear the Ruach and to follow the Ruach. So the and with the circumcision also, it is taught in the Hebrew. You have to look at it with the gematria. It doesn't. You can't find it just plainly, but it does speak of the having the circumcision and it removing the nest of demons. So circumcision, that flesh, it basically gives demons a place to reside. And so that's a very deep spiritual meaning. You have to look at that in the Hebrew only, and like I said, through gematria. So, but it's there, if you're willing to accept it. All right, so we're gonna go and do Kiddush now. So Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Cannot do it on the tablets of stone anymore, but on the tablets of their hearts. Yeah. No excuses.
¿Me ayudas con él?
Sí.
¿Quieres cambiártelo de mano? ¿Estás bien? Así, para ponernos. ¿Está bien así?
I'm sorry. Bendición para los que nos están viendo por internet, a Susan, a Janet Hernández, el Padre les bendiga ricamente.
Amén, amén. Habla aquí
Y
para
espero que se puedan reunir con nosotros.
YouTube te oigan, tienes que hablar aquí.
Esperamos que se puedan reunir con nosotros, Janet Hernández, Susan Arellano y familia. Por favor, les mandamos la invitación para Yom Teruah. Mañana, domingo, a las 6 de la tarde comenzamos. Por favor, reúnanse con nosotros y luego continuamos el lunes a las 11 de la mañana. Tenemos potluck tanto el domingo como el lunes. Así que están todos cordialmente invitados. Vamos a tener una fiesta hermosa. No se la pierda. Yo creo firmemente, I really believe firmly that when in chapter 25 of Matthew, when he speaks of the 10 virgins, that 5 of them, he said, I did not know you, because they never came to the feasts. They never came to the appointed time, to the appointment to see the king. So I do not know you, he said. So please come to the feast of Yom Teruah. It's a very important feast. Yes, it is. Hallelujah.
No, I think it's down because they basically for the
Can you put it on?
yeah, it is. Just for the
Felicitamos, we congratulate Ana Berta Barcelata Valencia. She passed the driving test. Baruch atah Yahweh. Hallelujah. We are happy with you, Anna. And please continue praying for some of the people that are sick, for Juan Francisco Hernandez. He is in the hospital right now. Please pray for him that he will completely recover from the aneurysm in the brain. And he had some seizures. So please continue praying for him. For Halelia and Jajamia, they couldn't come today because she has not been feeling well, and she had to go to the hospital to do some heart tests. So we're going to have the Kiddush.
Everybody all together.
Todos juntos.
Baruch atah Yahweh Eloheinu melech haolam המוציא לחם מן הארץ. Amen.
Blessed are you, Yah Elohim,
King of the universe, brings forth the breath from the earth.
Bendito sea usted, Yahweh, nuestro Elohim, Rey del universo, quien crea el pan de la tierra. Yahshua dijo, danos hoy nuestro pan, que dijéramos, danos hoy nuestro pan de cada día, nuestro lejem de cada día. No solo se está refiriendo a la comida material, también a nuestra salud. Amén. Y también, y más que nada, se está refiriendo a su Torah, a su enseñanza, que es nuestra comida, nuestro maná espiritual. No solo del pan vivirá el hombre, sino de toda palabra que sale de la boca de Yahweh. What I just said is, in the prayer of Abba, Yahweh, he says, give us today our daily bread. Amen. And he said that not only man will live not by bread alone, but from all the words that proceed from the mouth of Yahweh. Can I have one? Oh, yeah. Okay. So, when he's referring to the lechem, to the bread, it's not just the material bread, but the spiritual bread as well, and our healing. Healing is the bread of the children. Amén. El pan también representa la salud, que dijo él que era el pan de los hijos, la salud. So, Baruch atah Yahweh.
Raise your cup.
Vamos a levantar nuestra copa,
All together.
todos juntos.
Baruch atah Yahweh Eloheinu melech haolam Bore peri hagafen. Amen. Blessed are you, Yahweh Elohim, King of the universe, Christopher divine.
Bendito sea usted, Yahweh, nuestro Elohim, Rey del universo, quien crea el fruto de la vid.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom a todos. Vamos a hacer una oración para despedirnos.
Amén.
¿Quién va a orar en inglés?
You in Spanish and somebody in English.
Ok. Vamos a unirnos en oración, no para despedirnos del Shabbat, porque todavía no acaba, pero para despedirnos de la congregación que vamos a ir a nuestros hogares. Padre celestial, Yahweh, Rey omnipotente y soberano, Elohim todopoderoso, Elohim de Abraham, Elohim de Yitzhak, Elohim de Jacob. Te damos gracias, toda Rabá, por este día hermoso que nos diste, por tu presencia que estuvo tan hermosa y que sigue estando con nosotros. Toda Rabá, porque nos das un día de Shabbat, un día de reposo, un día de tranquilidad, un día de alegría, un día en que recargamos nuestras baterías espirituales al estar en tu presencia, pues en tu presencia hay plenitud de gozo, de simja. Padre, toda Rabá, por nuestros invitados que tuvimos hoy. Te pedimos, Padre mío, muy especialmente, Padre, por el esposo de nuestra hermana Miriam Soraya Hernández. Su esposo está en el hospital, Abacadosh Yahweh. Su Ish, oramos por él, intercedemos por él, nos ponemos de acuerdo los que estamos aquí reunidos en este día ante el Cohen Gadol Yahshua HaMashiach para pedirle en el nombre de Yahshua HaMashiach, pedirle a nuestro Padre Yahweh que sane a su esposo, a Juan Hernández, Juan Francisco Hernández, que está en el hospital, Padre, y todavía los médicos lo tienen en cuidado intensivo. Padre, por favor, muestra tu brazo extendido, muestra tu mano poderosa. Padre, sopla el aliento de vida en ese cerebro. Quita todo el daño que se haya hecho. Restaura su movilidad tanto en el lado izquierdo como en el lado derecho de su cuerpo, Padre. Restaura cada tejido, cada órgano, Padre, su cerebro, su cerebelo, cada parte de su cuerpo sea restaurado, aún mejor que como estaba antes. Todo su sistema nervioso, su sistema consuetudinario. Padre, te pedimos por favor que estés con la familia de él, con su esposa, con sus hermanos, Padre, y que tú restaures la salud para que todos aquellos que se enteraron sepan que hay un Elohim vivo. También te pido por el hijo de los hermanos Rodríguez, que su corazón está mejorando cada día más. Ahora tiene un 30% en su corazón que le está funcionando mejor que como antes cuando se enfermó. Gracias, Toda Rabá, Padre, por este señor Jesús Manuel Mejía, que estuvo en el hospital, Padre, y se está recuperando, Padre. Toda Rabá, porque los médicos no le daban esperanza, pero Padre, Toda Rabá, porque Él está vivo y porque te da gracias que tú estuviste con Él. Padre, por cualquier otra persona, por Jalelia, por Jajamia, sé con ellos, bendícelos, cuídalos, protégelos, sánalos, Padre, de la cabeza a los pies. Los hermanos Rodríguez que se encuentran viajando, están en Tijuana, Baja California, en México, fueron al sepelio de un tío, Padre mío, y yo sé que tú los vas a usar enormemente por allá, Padre, para hablarles a los vivos, porque ya el muertito no está aquí, pero a los vivos, Padre, y te damos toda rabá por todo lo que nos permites en este día hacer, por la preparación de la fiesta de mañana, sea preciosa, maravillosa, inolvidable. Y Padre, tu presencia esté tangible, maravillosa entre nosotros. Mañana es un Shabbat, Shabbatón, Padre. Padre, que veamos la importancia de venir a tus fiestas. Te lo pedimos y rogamos en el poderoso nombre de Yahshua HaMashiach. Y tu pueblo dice amén. Amén, amén.
Gracias por Edith, que hoy cumpleaños.
Mi suegra quiere dar gracias. My mother-in-law wants to give thanks to Yahweh for Edith. Today is one more day of life given by Abba. Thank you, Abba. Thank you, Yahweh, por un año más de vida que le diste. Thank you, Abba. We bless you for that. And shalom to everyone. Shalom, shalom.